Keir Starmer has made a fatal move that has sparked widespread backlash across the internet following the sentencing of Axel Ruda Kabana. In today's video, we'll explore the details of this case and break down the latest news from across the country. But before we dive in, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. The case of Axel Ruda Kabana has ignited a nationwide debate over sentencing laws in the UK. On Thursday, Kabana was sentenced to a minimum of 52 years for the brutal murder of 3 young girls at a Taylor Swift-themed dance class. His actions have left the public and political leaders deeply divided on how justice should be served for such heinous crimes. The sentencing judge expressed frustration at the limitations of the law, pointing out that Kabana narrowly avoided a whole life order because he was just 9 days short of his 18th birthday. Current UK legislation, influenced by the UN Convention on the Rights of the Child, prohibits life imprisonment without the possibility of release for offenders under 18. Despite public outrage and calls for legal reform, Labour leader Keir Starmer, in a statement from Downing Street, rejected changing the law to allow exceptions in cases like Kabana's. While acknowledging the public's disgust at his crimes, the statement emphasized the government's commitment to international laws protecting minors from life sentences without parole. This stance has sparked fierce criticism from all sides of the political spectrum. Conservative MP Robert Jenrich dismissed Starmer's position as a distraction, arguing that the UK's legal system can apply international treaties selectively. Jenrich, along with other MPs and legal experts, has called for legislative changes to allow whole life orders for offenders under 18 in exceptional cases. Southport MP Patrick Hurley and former Director of Public Prosecutions Lord MacDonald have also backed this call, urging urgent reforms to ensure justice for victims of extreme crimes. Families of the victims have expressed their disappointment, insisting that Kabana's lack of remorse and the severity of his actions demand the harshest possible punishment. At the center of the debate is Article 37 of the United Nations Convention on the Rights of the Child, which prohibits life imprisonment without parole for minors. Critics argue that exceptions should be made for cases involving extraordinary brutality. In contrast, the United States, which has not ratified the convention, continues to impose life sentences without parole for juvenile offenders in certain circumstances, offering a stark contrast to the UK's approach. Supporters of reform believe Kabana's case is a prime example of when exceptions should be allowed, citing the premeditated nature of his crime, his targeting of young girls, and his lack of remorse. Another key issue is concurrent sentencing. Many believe that offenders like Kabana, who commit multiple murders, should serve consecutive sentences for each life taken, rather than concurrent sentences that group the murders together. Critics argue that concurrent sentencing devalues the lives of each victim and fails to deliver true justice for grieving families. As public pressure mounts, the government faces a critical choice: uphold existing laws grounded in international conventions or pursue legislative changes to address exceptional cases like this one. Advocates for reform argue that allowing exceptions for extreme crimes would not undermine broader protections for juveniles, but would send a powerful message that society will not tolerate such horrific acts. This case has also reignited broader discussions about potential reforms to the justice system, including the controversial debate over reintroducing the death penalty for the most severe crimes. While this remains divisive, it highlights the growing dissatisfaction many feel with the current system's ability to deliver justice. The debate over Kabana's sentence raises important questions about the balance between protecting juvenile offenders and ensuring justice for victims. Should the law be amended to allow for whole life sentences in exceptional cases? Or does adhering to international conventions outweigh the need for reform? What do you think of Starmer's stance? Let me know your thoughts in the comments.